I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, a disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is word.
Welcome back, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks. We are back at it again, bringing you another afternoon market pulse update. Today is February 26, 2024. Bitcoin is absolutely tearing. People are getting liquidated. We're checking out all this information on the Ethereum Bitcoin side. We got PulseChain doing phenomenal things. We have Hex doing phenomenal things, and again, just a lot of information going on. So welcome back, guys. It's Monday again. I hope y'all are all having a fantastic day. As always, say hello to some beautiful people who are here at the moment. What's going on, my friends? Exactly, yeah, I see Rugburn in the house. What's up, my boy? How you doing, Rugburn? Let me just refresh this once again. Give me 1 second here. Alright, there we go. There the chat's coming through. What's up, Gloria? Hello, Cookie to Chocolata. What's up, VRD Hex, Crypto Compassion, Fred B, Atlantean, Pothead, Stressful Struggle. What's up, guys? So without further ado, man, let's take a little gander. Let's take a peek at what's going on, what we're checking out, what we're seeing in the overall markets in terms of crypto, in terms of all of this information. And again, if the music's too loud or anything like that, definitely let me know in the chat or in the comments down below. If audio's off, whatever, give me a heads up on it before we get too far into it. Sometimes I get into these streams and I get caught up. But without further ado, let's check it out. So we actually have PulseChain, we have Bitcoin currently sitting at $54,677, y'all. This is blowing my mind at this point in time. Absolutely blowing my mind. No time previously in Bitcoin's history has it ever continued to pump after or going into the Bitcoin halving. Check it out. Look at all these times. Folks, this is going back all the way when Bitcoin first launched, right? Going back 2011 over here. You got 12, and again, we got a drop off before the halving. Then you got the pump. You got the drop off before the halving. This is back in 2016. Then you got the pump. Again, yeah, there's always some little excitement that happens, but even here, you got the drop off before the halving, and then you got the pump. This is crushing it right now, y'all. I am curious. I don't want to be the first to say this time is different, and I don't think I will be the first to say that by any means of the stretch of the imagination. But y'all, this is wild. $54,700 while streaming right now? That's not that far off from its previous all-time high, my friends. It only has 26% to go to get back to the all-time high. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's all I can say. Wow. This is crushing it. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because most of the time when you look back at the previous history on Bitcoin and you actually pull up a fib retracement level on this and you break it down, normally it will come and retest the 618 level as it has done in the past, even testing out the 786 before it goes back down, and then you actually get the full run up like we have seen so many times in the past. We can do the same chart again, even going back to 2014 over here. This is back in 2013 as a matter of fact. So we got the run up that actually happened, and again, check this out. It hit the 618. Let me actually pull this down for the candle wick on this one. It actually came up, hit the 618 exactly like it's done so many times in the past, went down and went back up. This is what I've been using to kind of gauge what we actually got going on. And if I'm looking at the overall market right now and just seeing this exact same thing, well, y'all, we've already hit the 618 level as a matter of fact, right? Not only have we hit the 618 level, we played within the golden pocket zone of the 786, 618 level. We have blasted through the 786 level over the last 3 weeks. Okay? This is a weekly chart that you're looking at right here. And by the way, the weekly chart, this is a doji engulfing candle. That is very bullish when you look at this stuff. When a green candle is like this, you get a doji engulfing candle and another green candle. That's bullish. So do we end up going back to Bitcoin's previous all-time high? Again, it's only 26% away. That's not that far off, y'all. Another thing that I'm worried about is if we do end up rallying up too soon, how long this bear market's going to go. Because we know in the past that typically you get about 8 to 12 months when the rally starts really happening in a bull run. We've already entered the bull run, as a matter of fact, starting in January of 2024. So this was already going to be a thing. The bull run had already started at this time. Normally you do see a pullback and a retracement, especially going into the Bitcoin halving. I'm curious, guys. What do y'all think? What are y'all's thoughts? I would love to hear y'all's information on this as well. Let me know if I'm seeing this correctly right now, because all these signs indicate strength, which is crazy, y'all. Crazy. If I actually pull up the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart as well, we are just now finally starting to step into an overbought situation. We're barely there, meaning we could still end up going up. If you look at the previous time, this lasted for 63 days before it actually went down last time. And again, the 63 days all started right here. And from this move alone, Bitcoin did a 50% gain, right? During that whole time period before it actually decided to start dropping. Pretty darn good. Where do we go if we get a 50% increase? We're above all-time high, y'all. I'm just saying, if it goes up and does a 50% increase, even lasting for 63 days, again, even in this time zone, we're looking at 80K Bitcoin. I would be shocked. I would honestly be shocked if we end up passing new all-time highs. It had never been done previously in Bitcoin's history. Is this time different? Let me know what y'all's thoughts are on that. So Bitcoin doing its thing. Ethereum passing its 3,200 mark. Just now actually it captured the 3198 so far, so it hasn't quite cusped the 3200 number just yet. But when Bitcoin likes to pump, even during that same exact time period when you had the pump of the 63 days like we had talked about last time, Ethereum went off and did its own pump as well, right? And so I'm very curious to know what y'all's thoughts are on this. How high do we really go? Because usually when things start breaking out of the 786 level, like we're seeing with this Bitcoin side of things, and you start breaking above 786 like we broke above right here, it likes to go back and retest some of these levels over here, y'all. Now again, we could come back. This could be the final bull trap. This could be that final bull trap before it decides at this point in time to actually go through and cancel anything, okay? So this could in fact be a bull trap at this point in time, and it could very well do this exact same pullback where we get a little bit of a pullback, going back down, testing out this 618 level right around the 38K, or even just staying within the wedge that we've been actually sitting in at this point in time too, right? This little bullish trend that we've actually been sitting on at this point in time. So it could very well come back down and test this out here, and this could actually go into the Bitcoin halving. So Bitcoin halving is going to be roughly around mid-April. April 17th, I think, is the predicted date at this point in time. And so it's very curious. Let me just refresh the Bitcoin halving side of things. So this is a beautiful chart. If y'all haven't checked out Dune.com before, again, don't fail me now, Dune. This actually gives you an idea of kind of what's going on with the Bitcoin halvings and what's happened previously on these numbers. So at this point in time, we have roughly about 51 days until the next halving, which is estimated to be on the 17th of April, 2024, roughly about 7,800 blocks to go. Now, what's interesting about this is when you start getting into these previous numbers of what happened in the first halving, second halving, and third halving. So you actually had first halving was November 28th, 2012. Previous all-time high price before the halving was $30. Price on the date of the halving was $12. So again, you got to pull back. The local top after the local top in the first halving was actually going to be $1,100, and then it went down to $197. Now again, that actually lasted here. It has number of days after the first halving to break out. So the first halving, it took 85 days after the first halving to break its previous all-time high. It's pretty fast. The average return, they got roughly around 742x their money. Incredible. The days after that number of halving was 367 days, and that was to reach its new all-time high. So roughly about 1 year, the 12 months like we've discussed. And basically everyone was in profit, obviously, at that point in time, because when something's making new all-time highs, it smashes and everyone's in profit. Then you look at the second halving. You have July 9th of 2016 was the second halving. The previous all-time high was $1,100. The price on the first halving, or the price on the date of the first halving, second halving summary, was going to be $652. And then it went up to $19,000. And then it went down to $3,200. So we've already seen these cycles go. We've already seen how long it takes. And this one only took 229 days. So it's in that 8 to 12 month range for it to actually be seeing some of these digits and numbers. Now again, that was for a 47x return for anyone who is watching that at that point in time. I'm just trying to make this easier for y'all to also see as well. Just so that way maybe it makes a little bit more sense so you can see all the digits and numbers as well. So again, it took 229 days after the halving to break its previous all-time high, and it gave us 526 days to break its previous all-time high. Here you go. Boom. Now the third halving, we get down into the last one, which was the most recent one on May 11th of 2020. Once again, you're definitely welcome to check out some of these charts, find out some information that you'd like to see as well. This is all stuff. So previously it took 547 days to reach the all-time high. This one now reached 67,000. It got really close to 69, but we're going to call it 67,000 at the local top of the halving cycle. And again, gave people around a 12x return or 13x return their money. So you can see that number has constantly decreased, and it's gone from, 700 to 40 to 13. And so this time it's estimated that we're looking to see a ballpark range of 5 to 6x is kind of what people are estimating at this point in time. And you can see from that point in time, it actually was 8,700 at the time, and it took 200 days to break its previous all-time high, right? So keep that in mind. This is information that's out there for everybody to actually go check out for anyone who wants to go dive in a little bit deeper on these. But these are the halving cycles of what it went through and went down. Whoops. These are the halving cycles of what it went through and went down as it went through. Okay? So I want to share this with everyone because I find this to be incredibly bullish, guys. We are crushing it right now in terms of this trend right now. It doesn't seem to be wanting to break out of this bullish trend that it's been in since really November of 2022. So it's been on a slow tear ever since then, and it just keeps wanting to go. Now, ideally, again, if we're seeing a 5x return, that kind of puts it in the ballpark of about 80K. But we just did the numbers a second ago and took a little look at what could be possible. And with 80K being a potential possibility of us actually seeing some numbers, does it happen before this halving or not? I'm very curious to know, just like all of you as well. Ethereum is absolutely crushing it. But let me go back and actually say hello to some more beautiful people who came through the chat as well. We got Crypto Wonder. What's up, my boy? The truth is out there for sure. Cookie to Takalata says Gwei is too high. I hate it. Yeah. Speaking of Gwei, let's take a little gander. Gwei right now on the Ethereum side, sitting roughly, sitting roughly in the ballpark of 60 Gwei. That is definitely way too high to be transacting. And you can see it's going to cost just to swap a token at this point in time, $60. That's too high, y'all. That's too high. But luckily, we have PulseChain. And PulseChain is absolutely crushing it in terms of the gas fees and the comparison that you can get. So instead of paying $60 to swap, it's going to cost you 0.3 of a penny to swap. It's going to cost a penny to swap, and it's going to cost you 0.3 of a penny to send a PRC20. It's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. I'm going to turn this down just a smidge. Let me know if the music is too loud, if the audio is all good. I just want to check it all out. But again, PulseChain is the answer to the gas fees, y'all. PulseChain should be announced to everyone that you know who can want to transact, because all the tokens were copied over. It was an entire system state fork of the Ethereum network of ETH 2.0. On May 12th, 2023, PulseChain was launched, and at that time, it forked the entire Ethereum state. So if you were holding any ERC20s or ERC721s, NFTs, or anything, by connecting to PulseChain, you actually got all of it duplicated, and you could actually have additional money that you didn't even know about sitting there. And folks, this is always going to be the case. No matter when you hear about PulseChain, if you were holding any ERC20s on May 10th to May 12th of 2023, they were forked and they were copied over to PulseChain. So y'all got money sitting over there. Again, we're sitting on 4,300 times cheaper than Ethereum. Right now, the GUI is sitting at 56 GUI. It's going to cost $63 just to swap a token. How are you supposed to DCA into this if you're not coming in with some serious capitals, y'all? I can't come in with $20 a day and buy these tokens if it's going to cost me $60 just to be able to swap. That's crazy. Put that additional capital to use in a better network called PulseChain. Okay? And again, you can see it's cheaper than all the other networks that are out there. There's no network right now that's cheaper than PulseChain, meaning it's the best place to transact. There's bridges that go from Binance to PulseChain. There's bridges that go from Ethereum to PulseChain. And there are tons of videos out there. So do yourself a favor and go start trying to gather as much information as you possibly can to educate yourself on the future of what we look at into the next crypto layer 1 who is here. Now, PulseChain is currently sitting at a price of 30136. PulseX sitting at a price of 4053. The incentive token sitting at $3.29. Hex on PulseChain sitting at 1.6 cents. And Hex on Ethereum is sitting at 9/10 of a penny. 0.0089. And we can actually check out all these charts as well, as a matter of fact. So let's take a little gander to see how the most recent bounce looks like. Now, we did go back and retest the 618 level. We actually used that as almost a level of support. So it actually has bounced off the 618 level. And we are still flipping into, once again, higher highs and higher lows. So when I'm diving into some of this, these are all key metrics that you want to be considering and looking at. Even if you do get a pullback right here, you do want to maintain a higher low situation and higher low situation until eventually you get a sign of strength. And this is using the Wyckoff method. But right now, if you just look at basically where it's sitting right here, we are in the next phase of the accumulation phase. So you had this time to be accumulating, and then it goes through and determines which way it wants to go, and it breaks out. Again, this was all a sign. This is all an accumulation phase as well, using that same Wyckoff method, y'all. This is all the accumulation phase during this time period before the next sign of strength weakness or sign of strength just absolutely broke out. And that's exactly what you can expect to happen going into a bull market with all the tokens pumping. This is absolutely tearing doors off, folks. Again, Bitcoin's smashing the prices right now. The stochastic RSI is moving back into a bullish territory, and this one, it did flip bearish on the 20th of February, and from that point in time, we actually did in fact drop roughly around 10%. This was a better buying opportunity if you were wanting to capture some of that, but it is starting to flip back into an oversold situation, meaning things are wanting to go back into a nice little trajectory of going up. So if we're seeing this flip back into a bullish territory, that's exactly what you can expect every single time previously that you've seen this as well. When it actually flips in here, you can see what happened with the price going back on each of the times it actually flipped into a nice little bullish signal. So the stochastic RSI is one of the indicators that I use to check out where I think the price could be going into at least the near-term future. Long-term future, I see this thing being a long-term token you want to be holding, just like you wanted to be holding Ethereum when it first launched, just like you should have been holding Cardano when it first launched, just like you could have been holding Bitcoin when it first launched. You can now hold a token, a new layer 1 token that is out there and available for every single person right now. You're within the 10-month range of these tokens being out. PulseChain just launched May of 2023. We're just now getting into the March territory, so we got about 2 more months before we hit the 1-year mark. That's 2 more months you could be DCAing, folks. Because if you hold any token into its first year and it has a further level to go, it is massive of what you can actually get going to. So I want to share that with everyone, man. I want to have some fun with this. I want to check it out. Let me say hello to some people who actually came through on the chat as well as always. Yo, what's up, Spriggs? How you doing? Afternoon all. Academaciated. Hello, my friend. Rug says, it would be wild to get all-time high soon, then retrace, then massive second run in winter of 2025 to 2026. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. We got Johnny saying LFG. What's up, Johnny? Yo, what's up? You never walk alone and hi, friends. I'm skeptical as well. Rugburn says the truth is out there. Who knows what will happen? Atlantean, we definitely don't. But what we do know is, again, things are looking mad bullish on the ecosystem right now for not only our ecosystem but just crypto in general. Oh, give me 1 second. No. What? Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Hold up. Okay.
Rocky's gonna be out here with the Chevys. I don't know if you want to bring them in.
Okay. 1 sec, y'all. All right. Cool. Not sure what happened there. Not sure if I just got too excited and bumped my camera a little bit. I don't know, man, because I'm looking at this right now and wow. Again, these are indicators of just mad strength right now. I'm curious to know which way it decides to go. I am very curious to know which way it decides to go. Because we're not even seeing big candle wicks either on these, y'all. Like, usually you have, like, these big candles trying to say, like, which way the market's trying to go one way or another. We're getting candles just kind of a little bit above and a little bit below. You're not really trying to say, like, you get a little bit of some sell pressure right here, showing that the market or the market makers are trying to say, push the price down further, right? And that's exactly kind of what happened until you get people just being mad bullish, and then you get the indicator right here. This is a big old wick where you actually got roughly around 8% this wick alone, right? And then it goes off and does a tear. We got basically a doji engulfing candle like I mentioned a moment ago, and usually when you get that, it's pretty bullish, y'all. The S&P 500 is still making its new all-time highs as well. It's pulling back a little bit. Last week, as a matter of fact, it reached the tippity top of what it's been. So you can see we've actually been looking at this as well, just trying to get a little gander of what could be happening on the S&P 500 and the overall chart. The stochastic RSI, once again, definitely in an overbought situation. So I can definitely be seeing some pullbacks, not only with the announcement of some Fed rate cuts or Fed non-cuts or what's going on, but everything is just kind of sitting in an overbought situation on the Dow Jones, on the NASDAQ, on the S&P 500. They were all making new all-time highs constantly for a period of time as well. I mean, this is overall a new all-time high that lasted for 84 days, right? Or 77 days at this point in time. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty freaking crazy, y'all. So checking it all out, though. Checking out the dollar. The dollar is losing some strength. This is very bullish for crypto. Once again, even the dollar is in an overbought situation. Thereby, usually when things like to do this on the dollar and things like to go down like this is mad bullish for crypto once again. So you can see each time it's done this. If we were to actually pull up the Bitcoin chart as well, let's see if we can actually just kind of overlay the Bitcoin chart here. 1 second. Yeah, let me actually flip that up here. Let me actually get that adjusted real quick and say hello to some more beautiful people. Give me 1 moment while we get that all set up. Let me actually switch up. What do I want to listen to? We got Connor. Yeah, DJ Hato. DJ Hato. Let's go. There we go. Here we go. Just adjusting some stuff real fast, y'all. Just give me a moment on my end. want to actually flip it up on that one. I'll get that adjusted and we'll check it out next time. But you can see that whenever we actually end up getting on these for the downside for the dollar side of things, so this is all back in over here 2022. So you can basically see in November of 2022, that was actually whenever the bull market basically started with Bitcoin, right? So the dollar was actually losing the value. However, when you look at the Bitcoin chart, that was exactly when it started gaining value, right? So ideally, you'd want to continue seeing this, keep on doing what it does. And that's exactly what we plan on doing. Right now, the dollar is looking pretty weak. It's looking like it's going to continue to go down once again in an overbought situation. So if I'm just looking at the stochastic RSI, looking at what we're seeing, looking at these wicks right here, like I talked about just a moment ago, the wicks are showing they want to continue to push the price down. So how high does the price go? Because that's pretty freaking crazy, y'all. Let me just get rid of all those markers. Cool. And overall, the total market cap for crypto has just passed the 2 trillion as well. This recently has been one of the indicators that I'm just kind of checking out. You can see if I've actually pulled this up in the past, so we can actually take a little look at what we think is actually going on with the overall market cap and how high we actually end up going. So in this situation, this is the total market cap. Again, it doesn't include it all. We get it. There's several tokens that aren't even included. In fact, there's an entire ecosystem of PulseChain that's not even included within this total market cap. So the 2 trillion that we say is already on the low side of where the actual true crypto market cap actually is. But based on what we're actually seeing right now, the total crypto market cap is something we will take a look at. And does it end up hitting in the ballpark of 21 trillion this cycle? And that's kind of what I'm estimating. We're going to be seeing a ballpark of around 21 to 26 trillion on the overall crypto market cap, y'all. So we'll take a little look at what we got going on there. Total 2, excluding Bitcoin, we actually broke out already as well. We've already done the pre-halving noise and dance that we've done multiple times. Typically, when you are in this zone, we actually do see this. We see a nice little Bitcoin halving before it actually wants to go take off. We're already breaking out of what we've done previously as well in terms of the total 2. Things are looking pretty freaking crazy, y'all. Things are looking pretty crazy. Now, the Bitcoin dominance is still above 52% right now. The Bitcoin dominance, I would love to see this go back down even into the range of 40%, somewhere here in this zone, in this territory, meaning the overall altcoin season is really kicking off. Really anything above the 50 mark at this point is more so bullish toward Bitcoin. And then again, when you actually start dipping down into where you actually start seeing these happen, that is altcoin season all day right there, right? So that was where you actually see from December to May of 2021. So December of 2020 to May of 2021, a lot of the altcoins ended up hitting their previous all-time high. So ideally, we'd want to see this exact same pullback, even going down into the 40% range, maybe even less if it really wants to, depending upon how crazy the altcoins wants to go this season. And yeah, it's definitely going to be something we're going to be taking a little gander and peek at. But once again, it is still showing Bitcoin dominance to be on the higher side right now. And yeah, let me actually see this once again. Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, Japanese rap. Yeah, exactly. Crypto Chino. Yeah, it's a fun little music that I have going on as well, man. Volume low? Oh shit, volume low for who? For me? Volume low for like myself? Test. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really like, I wouldn't say I'm low. I'm at the point of peaking right now on the audio side of things. Let me know if, again, we need to turn up the audio for whatever reason. Would love to make sure that everyone has a wonderful time as well. We got Access Alive. What's up, my boy? How you doing? Let me just see, man. We got several people who came through on the chat while I was actually just looking at the chart once again. Hex is about to rock it for sure. Gwei is definitely too high. Academaciated says afternoon all. It would be wild to get all-time highs soon, then retrace in a massive second run winter. Yep. I'm skeptical as well. The truth is out there. What's up, Atlantean? Crypto Wonder. Salute to you, my friend. I think I can feel the coming economic fear and FUD starting to actualize out here. Yeah, exactly. People don't want to be holding their money in dollars anymore right now, right? Like people are tired of holding their actual hard-earned money in dollars, where it's just getting diluted every single day. The Fed is printing more money than ever. The debt ceiling right now, the US debt ceiling, is ridiculously high. Like, they don't have a chance of paying this off. 34 trillion and counting. Come on, y'all. That's wild. They're expecting this to be in the ballpark of 40 trillion by the time we end up at the end of 2024. There's numbers that are out there saying 40 trillion. What? Literally is actually spending more money than they can ever do. The debt per citizen is 102,000. That's wildly high, y'all. That's crazy high. And they aren't getting anywhere close to this on any money anywhere. Yeah, this national debt, this is terrible. And then again, I actually see this actually coming up into the same thing as well. They just keep printing out billions, y'all. Billions and trillions. And then another economic energy bill that doesn't go to any of the U.S. citizens. They're going outside the U.S. Like, we got shit to worry about ourselves. But you get some credit card debt and they'll come after you for all you got. That's crazy, y'all. That is crazy. Now, again, checking out PulseX, may as well just pull up the other charts once again, and then we'll dive into some news. PulseX is looking awfully pretty once again. We actually kind of got a little bit scared here, in my opinion. We did flip the 915 EMA, which is typically bearish. We've talked about this as well in the past, and we have broke down below its previous local low. So when you start breaking down below these levels and you start making lower lows, that usually does mean that you're going to see some pullback, typically when you actually start getting into these just TA charts in general. But again, if you actually were to not just zoom out right here, but instead actually look at just kind of where it's been in the recent time, again, where you still have higher lows being made, but we really don't want to fall below the 40421. Because again, that would just mean lower low at that point, lower low at that point, and then if you fall below it, lower low at as well. That's usually pretty bearish, so just keep that in mind on how you actually end up getting it all. And this is one of the fun songs. I don't want to listen to right now, man. I'm kind of switching up some stuff. Give me one sec. That was one of those fun little things. Let me switch up. Let's do some Connor Price. I like Connor Price. He's good. He's good peeps, man. Good peeps for sure. Connor Price. Yep, spinning. Boom. Alright, cool. This is a fire song as well. If y'all haven't heard Connor Price, go check him out. He's incredible, man. Anyways. Audio volume adjust randomly. Get it. Afternoon all. What's up, Benny? J Pond, hello. J Everything, what's up? Spriggs, I'm loving the positivity. The future is looking bright for crypto and especially for PulseChain. Facts. Even if it dips, dude, of course, that's what I'm saying. Like, keep that in mind, y'all. This is just getting started, okay? Axis, what's up? Crypto Chino, yep. What's up, Checks? What's up, late 28? 10 top. What is going on with DAI moving into Aave? RH getting set for big moves or just grabbing yield while the grabbing is good? I don't really know if I have too many thoughts on that right now. Yeah, I don't really know if I have too many thoughts right there. So I don't want to get too crazy with it. PulseX. Let's see if we can pull up something here. PulseX sacrifice. We're just going to do PulseX in general. And we're going to look at outflow. Did it. Winning. I hope y'all all love all the music as well. Yeah, last time the music, for whatever reason, it just didn't like the... I don't know, man. Spotify was being weird last time, so it is what it is. But anyways, hopefully we got that audio all fixed once again. Yeah, let's take a little look. Plenty of people have been talking about the DAI address, switching it over into Aave as well, and possibly earning some additional yield. Basically, they moved 28 million DAI into the Aave pool and the Aave protocol and Compound protocol to earn maybe additional 6% yield. It does surprise me that, if it is anything with the OA or SAC wallet in particular, that they would, do something like that. That's usually something not worth it, because I don't think you actually hold the funds at that point. But again, I'm not knowledgeable when it comes to the Aave and Compound process. So anyone who is a little bit more knowledgeable there is welcome to help educate and share. That's definitely something I love to, gather some more information. But based on what we're seeing right now, yeah, it's looking pretty darn good. So let's just pull up Compound and Aave maybe. Yeah, let's pull up this. And I'm not finding exactly the post that I'm looking for right now, so it's all good. But if they end up doing it, so basically if you think about it, right, if they're earning 6% per year on $28 million, right, that's basically getting them $1.7 million just in the yield alone, just by putting it there. So if it is going to be, in particular, we'll say the SAC address or the OA, could be using it for legal fees, for example, right? That could be a massive way of just paying for the top 10 lawyers that they have working on them right now, or top 11. These are like heavy hitters who have gone through and defended so many other cases from the SEC and the corruption that the SEC does. So if they're paying 1.7 mil to pay for all that, and that's a great way of doing it, dude, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just additional capital that was already sitting there. They're putting the money to work. I'm a big fan of yield in the first place, which is why I'd stake my HEX as well. And just recently, if you actually were staked in HEX, by the way, we just saw the second highest payout in HEX's history. If you're not familiar with staking HEX, you can actually buy HEX on any DeFi platform. When you actually get that HEX bought and you're holding it inside your wallet, it's not doing anything, just like many other tokens inside your wallet. However, there's a protocol you can do where you can actually stake your HEX, and in lieu of by staking your HEX, you burn your HEX and you're given T-shares instead. And those T-shares earn trustless yield daily. Now, yesterday there was an event where basically someone ended their stake early and they gave up millions of HEX. They took out a small portion of profit from what they had, but they just lost so much more because they didn't hold their stake to the length that they said they would. If you're not familiar with certificate of deposits, you are penalized when you pull out your money too early. Staking your HEX is the exact same process. If you say you're going to stake for 15 years and then after 2 years you extract the value, you're going to lose a significant portion of your HEX by doing so. It's called the truth mechanism and it truly works. But when people end their stake early, it pays out all the other people who are in fact staked. And so yesterday, where the average payout per T-share is around 6.8, we ended up getting close to 19 HEX per T-share. So 3 times higher that one day. So basically you made 3 days worth of staking in one day. And that's going to happen many more times this bull cycle, y'all. People are going to see more money than they've ever seen in their life. Congrats. But they're also going to make some silly, foolish decisions. And that's all good. It's up to everyone to make that own decision for themselves. But at the end of the day, that was one of those crazy situations. Yo, no way would I ever want to be sitting on I just looked on my Twitter real quick for a second and I got distracted. But can you imagine having your house on a hillside like this? I'll share it on screen just for a second. Can you imagine having your house on a hillside? Ooh, like, that looks so scary. That's basically everyone who's shorting crypto right now. That's exactly what everyone shorting crypto looks like right now. They're like, oh shit. Speaking of the liquidations, let's take a little look there as well, because there's definitely some possibilities of people getting liquidated sooner rather than later. So let's just pull up the liquidation side of things. If we actually pull up, let me just refresh it because Bitcoin has actually gone up since I actually refreshed that page last. No way. What? Bitcoin sitting at 54? Hold up. Oh my gosh. $54,659. Damn, Bitcoin's doing its thing, man. So Bitcoin's right here. The dotted line is basically where we're at. Anything left of it is basically people who are saying that they were long on leverage or whatever the case may be. And if the price does fall below these levels, then yeah, there's roughly about 1.1 billion to be liquidated in that regard. So shorting leverage and all those things is absolutely ridiculous, especially when it comes to crypto. It's just too volatile, too fast. If Bitcoin actually wipes out and gets up to 56,000, it's gonna liquidate these people shorting right now, which is roughly about 160 million that just get liquidated. And again, if it reaches 59,000, there's gonna be roughly around 205 million that get liquidated. So absolutely crazy. You can break this down on the Ethereum side as well. So looking at the Ethereum side of things, we can actually see the ETH price is roughly around 3,200. So we're going to say 3,182. Everyone here is long on the ETH side of things. So if the price does in fact decide to do a pullback for any reason, even dropping down to the $3,000 range or below the $2,900 range, it's looking like 1.4 billion is going to be liquidated. Wild, y'all. That's absolutely crazy. Same thing going long on this one, or going short. If you're shorting Bitcoin right now, basically saying I don't see it reaching, or shorting Ethereum, saying that I don't see it reaching 3,200, 3,300, 3,500. Anywhere up here, there's roughly around 452 million to possibly be liquidated and get wrecked. And you just lose everything, y'all. It's just straight up smack. It's gone. Like, the best thing you could do is just hold the crypto. You don't need to try to go short. You don't need to try to go long. You don't need to take on additional leverage. That's how people get wrecked. We talk about it on the channel, but liquors, ladies, and leverage, the way the three L's, right? The way people get wrecked in crypto or in anything for that matter, right? You look at going on the stock market and you take on leverage and do all these margin calls and all these options and all these additional ways of making money, and it doesn't go the way you did it, and then you just get absolutely wrecked. Like, it's just not worth it, guys. Like, the crypto is gonna do some crazy things this cycle. You don't need to speed the process up. You're about to see more money than you've ever seen in your life, and that goes for every single person here. Every single person here. Anyone who buys, even if you get in right now, again, like, yeah, could you see some pullbacks? For sure. But things break its previous all-time highs in the bull run all the time. So don't get short on this crypto, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Be super careful on trying to go short on crypto. But I think I'm a little bit behind chat right here. I think I'm about 20 minutes behind chat. So let me actually kind of come on in here. Oh, it's when I turn my head. Yeah, I figured as much. Volume is perfect. Volume's fine. Cool, cool, cool. Access Alive. Any insights? Yeah, maybe you can share. Always welcome. You're all good. Appreciate that. Evening ATX. Say hello to the puppies, Gloria. Always. We definitely got some pumps happening in the PulseChain ecosystem. It's an insane debt clock. RH gonna pay it off with all of his profits. Yeah, that's what I'm like. When and again, this is kind of messed up, but like the U.S. government is holding millions or hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, hundreds of thousands that they've confiscated that they're gonna spend themselves. Like, it's trash, man. It's absolute trash. But they do it, and they keep doing it. They've still done it. You have Mt. Gox doing their thing. The Silk Road was a big hack, and they got some of it back, but they didn't give it back to the people who got hacked. No. No, the government kept it and then used it to pay off whatever the fuck they want. Imagine that's what the government does to end up paying off all their debt. They just get into crypto, and then crypto pays off all the debt. That would be hilarious. Grab this next dip, as after that it's time for liftoff for sure. Oh. There's the chat just flying through. Whoops. Let me actually go back. Yeah, for sure. Grab it. They don't need your tax money. No, taxes have always annoyed me. So taxes is one of those things that they know how much you owe. Like, if they are the people who they say they are, and they have all this information, why not just tell me how much I owe? Why do I have to go through the hassle of being like, here's everything, and then if you're off by a little bit, you could be fucking jailed? Like, that's so stupid. Crazy, y'all. I'm fed up with my bank. They think because I'm 76 years old, I can't manage my money. They are preventing me from buying my crypto. Gloria, I've heard that all too many times, and this is a common thing, especially if you ever try to do a wire transfer from your bank to Coinbase is a common one, or Kraken, or any centralized exchange, because they now know that money is going into crypto, and so they actually are preventing people from even doing the process in the first place. One of the things that I would always recommend is for anyone in the US, try to go check out any local community credit unions. They tend to be a lot more forgiving when it comes to the crypto side of things. But again, there's no guarantees, y'all. There's no guarantees that it's going to be 100% that way either. Yeah, Gloria's Cookie de Chocolate says it's crazy. Banks think they are the owners of your money. Yeah, that always drives me crazy. Checks my pulse. We are so early for sure. Just too soon to say with the Aave move. Yeah, stake and chill. Yeah, checks my pulse is perfectly right. So another benefit that you can do with your HEX, not only can you stake it for a set period of time that you decide to choose, you aren't giving up your crypto, you aren't giving up your coins to anyone, you control all of it. You control how long it's staked for, you control if it actually is ending the stake, you control everything. But one of the things that you can do is also set up beautiful staking ladders to capture all of the things happening as well. So you can actually set up a ladder, for example, that ends every single time the bull market could end up being here. So we'll say you can set up a ladder that ends in 25, end another ladder in 29, end another stake in 33, and end another stake in 37. Give it a shot. Build out a ladder. Think long term on holding these cryptos. And the benefit of when you go long term on that stake is if you hold it to its fruition, you could possibly see more money than you ever even possibly imagined, even if it's a small number right now. Because imagine in 10 years that you see this token go off and do another 100x, for example. So no matter what the price is, that even if it's at 2 cents right now, what if one day it sits at the dollar mark, and that's 15 years later, and you had all that time to accrue the interest? I've pulled this chart up before, but we'll take a little gander as well. We got some people who are new to HEX and new to staking as well, so let's just kind of give you a brief example of what I'm talking about. Whoops, I went to the actual HEX chart. Here we go. Yeah, exactly. So let's just say you did 10,000 HEX for 55.55, okay, which is 15 years, by the way. So if you staked for the full 15-year period and you came into here and you said, hey, I'm gonna stake 10,000 HEX, which right now is roughly around $90 to be able to do this, I am a fan and believer that this is going to be closer into the double digit, if not triple digit range. So 10 to $100+ And that same 10,000 HEX that you staked out for 15 years is now worth $500,000, my friends, my family, and my fellow crypto entrepreneurs. Are you absolutely kidding me right now? Like, God, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. You turn something that's $90 right now into $500,000 because you just staked it out for 15 years. And not only did you stake it out for 15 years, you got to hold through the entire dips, because guys, on every single bull market, you get a nice little 90% drop for the next 2-3 years. That happens on damn near every crypto. So instead of you freaking out and panicking and seeing it go up during this bull market and then dropping 90% and then seeing it go up another however much it goes up and then dropping 90%, all those ebbs and flows, you are getting paid trustless yield every single day. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, y'all. That is gorgeous, okay? Yeah, Archie, good point. Here, hold up. Let me actually put it right here. Good point. Could always be a way to pay legal stuff. Who knows how long the case will go on for too. Yeah, there's no way of knowing, but like that's a thing that you could do with it. Like, why not? That's pretty darn cool, in my opinion. That's one thing that you could possibly use that additional capital for. It could be used to buy up some funds. It could, like, who knows what it's there for. Who knows what their plan is, but that's something that you can do. Yeah, 19 HEX per T-share, incredible payout per day. Payout yesterday, the second highest in HEX's history. Metastang says, what's up, ATX? Love the streams. Appreciate you, my friend. That's called living on the edge. Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? That is scary as fuck. Protect my bag. Yeah, dude. I can't imagine sitting on or having a house built on a cliff like that. There are several houses in the area that I live in right now that are on cliffs. And I've always thought, like, what would happen if it just an earthquake happens? And again, I don't think we're on any fault line or anything like that where I live, but there's no way of knowing what the heck could happen. That would be so scary. That would be absolutely scary. Here we go. Hold on. Let me turn up the music. Here we go. 19. What'd you say on this one, Lee? Tough backyard lawn to cut. That's funny. 19 hex could easily be 1900 hex in the near future. Definitely. Bitcoin is ripping. It absolutely is. We're next. 100% crypto Bigfoot. Pack them bags. Yeah, government is Satoshi. I don't know. I don't know. There's now with the so you got people actually coming out trying to basically like snitch on Satoshi, if you will, and it's all because Craig Wright, the fake Toshi, came and has been preaching that he's Satoshi this whole time, but won't ever prove it by doing something like sign a transaction from one of the wallets or to send one of the crypto tokens just to prove that it is in fact him who he says he is. And then I think with some of the emails that have come out, I think one of the things that Satoshi even said was that he took offense to being even like called Craig Wright. He is in fact not Craig Wright or something to that effect. I think Hal Finney was the most recent person to be considered to be Satoshi based on the way the white paper was written when it first got written for the before, you know, when Bitcoin was released, based on the 2 spaces and everything like that. And so all the articles like Hal Finney had written previously all had the 2 spaces after a period, and everything grammatically was a British tonality. If it had a sense of British and English on the words that you can say, it actually leaned more toward the British side each time. So who really knows at the end of the day? I think Hal Finney passed away, if I'm not mistaken, so maybe that crypto will never move, and that's kind of one of those things. I buy with my credit card, it's faster, and the banks is not directly involved. Yeah, that's crazy. A lot of credit cards will also prohibit that as well, because they think it's a cash advance. So interesting there. You never walk alone, so hit the like button, folks. Appreciate that. Hit the subscribe as well while you're at it. If you're new to the channel, it means a lot. Checks My Pulse says, just imagine what prices can be on the next cycle and one after that. Yeah, dude. Yeah. You got to make sure that you're set up, guys. You're holding Genesis, Pulse, and PulseX. If you had sacrificed for your freedom of speech and freedom of movement and freedom to transact, in lieu of that, there was coins given to you as a Genesis token. That's pretty darn cool. How do we know if it's going to be a short bull market, be done in 24 or go until 2025? It's my first bull market. I'm nervous. I mean, that's a great question. The thing that deters me from kind of like giving a crazy answer on that is most of the time when, here, let's just pull up examples. So let's just pull up the exact examples here. So Bitcoin's always the one that people kind of reference because that's something that you can always kind of, you know, gauge, right? And so if you just look at how long it was from this day of the previous top, this is back in 2013, all the way up until it basically ended up starting to break out of that as well, right? So right around this time was roughly around 1100 days. Now, again, that was just to get back to its previous all-time high. From this point in time, it lasted roughly around 300 days, right? It was a little over a year. And again, this whole span was also roughly around 600 days. So again, this is one of those earlier stages. I don't think we're in the 600-day zone anymore at this point in time. But I do believe that we could see us in the 300 zone. If you look at this one here, again, this is going to be to reach back to its previous all-time high, which was roughly around 1100 days to get there. And then once it reached its previous all-time high, it did a little run up as well, which lasted roughly around 300 days. So if you're looking at just previous past history, if we end up reaching at some point in time the previous all-time high for Bitcoin in this example, it could be before the halving, it could be after the halving. Again, no telling about how long it's going to be on that. But as soon as it starts eclipsing the 68, 69K range, My gut is telling me we're roughly around 300 days from that point in time, right? So you're looking early 2025, maybe January, February. I mean, you're in this zone right here, right? Which is why I personally don't really want to go see Bitcoin start hitting 68K all of a sudden. And again, we're not that far off, y'all. Like, and we are super close, 26% away. That's pretty damn close. And so if at some point in time it decides to come back to this level and start reaching 69K during this time, as soon as it reaches that point in time, I'm thinking 300 days. And then roughly when Bitcoin has its top, you get another about 6 months. You know, I'd say anywhere between 3 to 6 months on altcoins, right? So Bitcoin kind of moves first. Everything moves after, right? So then you get ETH and all the other altcoins and all that good stuff. If it wants to go make this top right here, I'm skeptical on that, y'all. I am, right? But again, I would say we're roughly around 300 to a year from the time that it's done it. And again, you can kind of go back and just look at all the previous history that we've had before this as well, right? So if you look at when it first launched in Bitcoin, to go back to start making this level right here, again, all I'm trying to figure out is when did it start making its previous all-time high? And if I go from just this day alone, come on, man, what you doing? Boom. It was roughly, so this one was kind of the early stage. It was only Bitcoin back then, so I'm not really, I can say it's 400 days, sure. That's kind of going to be the outlier, though, because there wasn't any other crypto around during that time. And then Ethereum came around in the 2015 cycle, so that's whenever you can really start seeing how it all worked. But once it hit its previous all-time high, right in this zone, roughly around that 300-day mark, right? And so this is kind of where we're seeing 330, 360, 300 days, somewhere in there before it hit its top. That's my guess. Hopefully that helped answer the question, but that's kind of what I would see if we want to go off and hit, you know, 68K sooner rather than later. Start counting, right? The clock ticks at that point in time. That's kind of my way of seeing it right there. The clock starts ticking for sure. What else we got? Yeah, government Satoshi, too funny. Yeah, dude, prices are gonna smash everyone's expectation. I mean, it's as simple as that. Like, Microsoft hit 3 trillion on the market cap the other day, I think I saw. I mean, it was above 3 trillion whenever I first checked it out, but like, that's no one had a stock market above 1 trillion for the longest time. And then now there's like 10 stocks that are out there. Stock market cap, Microsoft. I want to say it's like 3.1 trillion now. Yeah, 3 trillion as well, just for Microsoft on that one. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Like, that's pretty freaking wild. And again, like, Bitcoin is back in the market cap of right in the 1 trillion market cap as well. Right? So let me just pull up like Coin Gecko real quick. Do. Here we go. Oh, I gotta zoom out on that. Yeah, the overall market cap 2.1 trillion. Bitcoin sitting at 1 trillion right now. So what if Bitcoin hits 3 trillion, right? Put Bitcoin around 150K. Not really sure. I don't know if it gets that high. I have no idea. But then what if we start seeing Ethereum start hitting its market cap of 1 trillion, right? Like, these are all possible, y'all. So Bitcoin's currently sitting on a market cap of 1 trillion right now. And this was a far-fetched number for the stock market world forever. And Bitcoin just smashed in how fast it actually got to a market cap of 1 trillion. So what if this cycle is the cycle we see Ethereum also eclipse the 1 trillion market cap, right? Everyone's eyes are going to be on crypto at that point in time. There's only so much denying that you can do and so much naysaying that you can do before you finally give in and say, okay, dude, you got me, man. Like, tell me. And usually you're the person who's buying the top and exit liquidity for everyone else who's been holding for years because they took the time to understand, they took the risk to understand, and they let time work for them. So I'm just looking at this from the standpoint of, dude, if this thing already hit 1 trillion, what if this cycle it hits 2 trillion and Ethereum hits 1 trillion? it's gonna smash everyone's expectation, because even right now, the Microsoft market cap is again 3 trillion, right? I think Apple is right below 3 trillion. Yep, 2.8. Amazon right in that little ballpark as well. If I actually pull that up, Amazon sitting at 2 trillion. Like Apple, did I just pull up Apple? Was that what I just pulled up a second ago? Yeah, 2.8. What was the other stock market I wanted to check out real quick? Tesla. I don't think Tesla's doing too hot right now, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe y'all can correct me on that. Maybe it's in an oversold situation. Yeah, Tesla's below a trillion. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's kind of what I'm seeing just overall, right from the jump, right? Yeah, dude, I'm seeing Bitcoin like a bull trap situation. Like, again, I don't want to see it hit 68K too fast. That means we're entering into that 300-day to 365-day zone before you see a market, before you see the top. Meaning, all the other cryptos are going to just follow, you know, shortly thereafter. And a lot of the cycles previously have shown us that it's 18 months after the Bitcoin halving, which would actually be roughly around November or December of 2025 for us to see the top. But what if it's only 300 days to the top and January of 2025 is the top? Like, I hope y'all have some plan in place of the 5 P's to proper preparation, preventing poor performance. Talk about it all the time for a reason, because guys, make a plan. Play all the different situations. Whenever you say in January, if I have X amount in my portfolio, I'm taking some profit. Again, like, start looking at all the other previous data points that we can see. And could it be an extended bull market? We might even go until 2026. But ideally, we don't want to see it hit its previous all-time high this early, not before the halving for sure. Because that, again, doesn't really bode too well into where we can go into the future. So I'm cautious on that one for sure. Yeah, BTC could dump. Might be better to cool off a bit. Yeah, I hope it does for sure. How do we know? Yeah, hopefully that helped answer the question. Murder Yoga. Again, that's kind of where I would always see. Is PortalX swap legit? Yeah, I've used PortalX swap, I guess. So PortalX swap is legit. RTS says PortalX swap is legit. Used it quite a lot. Good way to cross-chain swap. So yeah, PortalX swap is one of those things that are created out there. You can bridge as well. There's multiple bridges. So if y'all are ever having issues bridging your information from bridge.pulsechain.com, for example, instead of going on that one, you can go to the Token Express bridge, which is it's basically tokensx.link. So TOKENSEX.link. Check it out. It does great. Go check SparkSwap too, for sure. Trinity Realm, ETH next. Maybe a quick wick up to 68. Dude, I honestly, I'm telling you, bro. I don't want that Cryptsol. No matter what, even if it wicks up to its previous all-time high, the times start, the clock ticks whenever it hits that previous all-time high. You understand? Like, so something I would just keep in mind. What do we got going on in crypto world and the DeFi space? So we got Decrypt right here. After Genesis sale approval bump, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust sells off slowly. To be expected. Exit scam. Bitcoin exchange shutters after $57 million was mysteriously withdrawn. What else we got going on? CoinGecko finds that 46% of Buzzy crypto airdrops hit peak value within. I wouldn't mess with airdrops, guys. I mean, I try not to mess with them in terms of like claiming them or doing anything like that. Because usually you're picking up pennies in front of freight trains. So just keep that in mind. SEC Gary Gensler will meet with South Korean financial watchdog to discuss NFT classification and spot Bitcoin ETFs. ARK Invest sold $16 million worth of Coinbase shares last week. There's not really anything too crazy. This is all back on the 22nd. Bankruptcy court approves. I think we went through this last time. Kraken files motion to dismiss. I definitely agree with this. I think everyone is filing a motion to dismiss because the SEC is 100% overreaching. 100% overreaching. What else do we have? Is that all the really news that's really out there right now? MicroStrategy Bitcoin stash swells to 10.8 billion as firm buys more. Too funny. Didn't they come out with their own token too? Anyways. Bitcoin price surges above 53 for the first time since 2021. We just talked about that. Ethereum price at 22-month high as open interest soars. That's a good knowledge fact on that one. Circle joins Overdare to add IP trading USDC payouts to Metaverse gaming platform. Yeah, that's any gaming platform. I have a tough time like really seeing that kind of like push into the next wave, but people are going to be able to make some money on it. So, you know, cool. Yuga Labs reset and Elon Musk Xmail may challenge Gmail. Jeez, Elon Musk is coming out with Xmail. Jesus. OpenSea delisted this game's NFT. Then the creators got their revenge. Cool. This week in crypto games, Pixel token launch N64 on Bitcoin. Portal breaks record. That's funny. That was all yesterday. Anything else? Satoshi lore grows as more Bitcoin investor emails. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. The Satoshi lore, this is what I was talking. Nakamoto wrote that calling Bitcoin as an investment was dangerous. And basically the reason why this is all getting called out is because Craig Wright is claiming to be Satoshi. And people are like, dude, you're not. So he comes through here. Since 2016, this Australian computer scientist Craig Wright has claimed to be the inventor of Bitcoin. On Thursday, the court received the first batch of emails addressed to a cryptographer in cypherpunk, which is hilarious. The company backs testimony. Those emails included mention of computer scientist Hal Finney, who received the first Bitcoin transaction from Nakamoto and who some believe to be the real Nakamoto. And by July, he needed a break from Bitcoin. Yep, exactly. Previous email dump was a 120-page batch of messages. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. This is all crazy. Now, again, I don't necessarily agree that like these emails should be all getting shared and all that good stuff, but the dude wants to be claiming like none of this should have even be coming to the forefront. But Craig Wright won't shut the F up on lies. So now the government's like, we want that money, so tell us how the fuck to get that money is basically what I'm looking at. 100,000 block generating nodes is all good, blah, blah, blah. What else we got? Yeah, I mean, this thing is a whole... You can check it out as well if you want to. You're welcome to go to Decrypt and find this article. Looking to add more severe administrators, Nakamoto suggested Gavin and Drayson. I trust him. He's responsible, professional, technically much more Linux capable than me. Yeah, there's definitely several people who came up and worked together on it, right? You know what I mean? It wasn't just like Satoshi Nakamoto, whether it be an entity or a whole group of people or just one or, you know, a whole group. But plenty of people put in their own 2 cents on making it what it is today. And so these are all the fraudulent documents he submitted as evidence to support his claim. Let's just check that out. Why not? Why don't we just check that out? Here we go. List of Craig Wright's excuses for fraudulent documents as he submitted evidence to support claim to be Satoshi. The signs of manipulation in the document were put there electronically. The document is fake, but someone else faked it. Jeez. Craig backdated the document to teach students how to do backdating. Craig manipulated the document as a demonstration for his lawyers. Craig backdated the document to 2008 because that is when the Bitcoin project started. I do this sort of thing all the time. Like, I don't know. It's just funny, man. I find that kind of stuff to be definitely comical for sure, right? Yeah, I would hope Bitcoin doesn't pull back, man. Like a good healthy pullback is not a bad thing in crypto, especially when you're going into a bull market. Like shake out the final weak hands, let this be a bull trap type situation. You know, people are going to go long on it. We just looked at the leverage people have taken, and there could be millions of people that just get absolutely liquidated on that one. Because they went long and it could drop below the 50K range and people are just going to get absolutely liquidated. Hey, troublemaker, preaching the good word. Yeah, always, Johnny. Great stream earlier, Johnny, for sure. Johnny K, it's good to see you in the congregation of the Church of ATX Crypto. Y'all too funny, man. Well, folks, I think that's going to wrap up the stream for today. It's going to be a lot of information, but I want to give a shout out to all the Patreon peeps as well. We did a fun conversation that we had yesterday. And again, anyone who wants to go through, we do keep a record of all the Patreon calls. You can always go check it out. And if anything, guys, hit me up down in the comments below. Let me know if you're looking for more information, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display.